Greetings, this is Dr. Nathaniel Doherty with another Tuesday teaching tip. This week I want to talk about transcripts and videos. We may want to prepare for non-hearing students in our classrooms and online classrooms by creating transcripts of any video material that we deliver. When I found out about this as an idea, as an ADA requirement, as an instructor, I felt like it represented a huge burden. And I didn't really know what to do with it, especially since I had a lot of content that already was recorded that I didn't have scripts for. We do recommend that before you create a video, you create a script for yourself that can be uploaded and provided to students that don't hear instead of a transcript or as a transcript. So if you do create scripts, then just use that script as your transcript of a given video. Obviously, unless you depart from it really dramatically. However, if you're like me and you have a lot of videos that you've already recorded and you don't have scripts for them, and you're concerned about the time it would take to type everything out that you're saying, this trick might be useful. So what you can see here on my screen is a video open to my last Tuesday teaching tip. The audio was pretty choppy, not my best work. I should say I spoke it in a pretty disrupted manner. But still, I can use this technique through Microsoft Word Online to create a script from it and then edit that. And editing that script is, I think, much quicker than actually trying to type everything out as I wrote it, especially since it's not the most clear audio track. So here's what I would do. First of all, this trick only works with the online version of Word that we all have as instructors at CSC. It does not work with the desktop version that's installed on your computer. You can get to this online version of Word by simply going to csc.edu. I'm guessing you all know this, but just in case. So you go to csc.edu, click Resources, open Office 365. My email will come up in a second. It always defaults to email. What you then do is go to the side pane and click Go to Word, the little Word icon on the side there. You can also go to your little waffle menu and click Word there. All right, but you'll see it come up in a second. I'm not going to use this window though. All right, you can, from here, you can open a new blank document or any recently edited document. All right. So coming back to it, the trick is to use a feature called Dictate. More specific, well, it's in the Dictate menu. You want to use a feature called Transcribe. So this is the video that we're going to work with. I'm going to make sure it's at the beginning. We're going to go to this menu here, Dictate, just to the right of all the regular text settings. Drop it down, hit Transcribe. It needs to start working. This is from before. So when you do create this transcript, this uses OneDrive and stores a copy of the recording that it makes and then uses that recording to create a transcript. So this does involve recording and keeping some of your speech. However, it can only record one at a time. You can see right here that it'll only hold one at a time. So you're not going to be building up a huge pile of recordings of yourself. So I would hit OK here. There is a website, and I'll make sure this is in the email that goes along with this, that tells you all about transcribing your recordings. It gives you some of the links to some of the privacy files so you can see what they're doing with their recordings. And it gives you pretty clear instructions that I'm just about to give you right now. But again, I'll make sure you have those in case this doesn't work. Okay, so once you have the transcribe menu open, you want to, if you have audio, you can upload it. It'll make a transcript of that. Or you can hit start recording and it brings up this little button here. It'll automatically start recording as you go. So once you have that recording going, simply start the video. Hi everybody, this is Dr. Nathaniel. Just let the video play, and then you can, and this is the major advantage of this technique, you can just go about your day and do some other kind of work, especially if it's a long video. This is a relatively short video, and I got up and just walked around and stretched a little bit while it was running. But you can, if you have a longer video, you can go and come back and let this work. You will have to do some editing after the fact. So once that video is done, you stop the recording, and then you hit save and transcribe. And this will take a little bit longer if your video isn't as short as this one. This is just over 2 minutes, or about 2.5 minutes. And so that happened very quickly. However, if you have a longer video, it takes a little bit longer, but I haven't had one run more than a couple of minutes. So once you have that transcription, once it's done doing its work on that, you can play it back and make sure that it recorded the right thing. You will go down to the bottom here, right, and hit add to document. And what that will do is take the transcript that it's developed and put it into the document that you're working with right here. And this is where you do end up having to get involved. The transcripts are not perfect, especially if, like in this video, your speech is a little unclear. The transcript can come out a little broken. You see there's some grammatical stuff here that Word is pointing out. It's also in a series of lines that aren't the easiest, right? So it's not a perfect software, but this came out very choppy, and it took me about 7 minutes of editing to turn it into this, which is a fairly good, very readable, mostly grammatically correct version of that transcript. Now, that is 7 minutes of work they have to put in, but remember, especially with longer videos, you don't have to spend all the time that you'd have to take copying, typing from your audio file, and then stopping and going back. So I do think it represents a savings in time. All right, so this could represent a good technique if you have lots of pre-recorded video content and you do want to, either for ADA compliance or if you have a non-hearing student in your class and you want to create transcripts, this will allow you to do that. You can also use it as you speak. So if you have a relatively simple video to record that doesn't require other software on your computer, or if most of what you're doing is with your hands, or you're going to do it in post-production, you can use this to record as you speak. As you record the video, you can record the transcript at the same time. Let me give you an example. So I would go into Word, open a new blank document. So this trick will actually work with the downloaded version of Word as well. So open a new blank document. I'm going to leave this up here just in case we need it in a second. And you, instead of clicking on anything within Word itself, you're going to use Command or the Windows key and hit H, and that will bring up the dictation option. You'll see it'll start transcribing everything I say right now. The first time you transcribe, it will ask you for permission to turn this on. It works in a similar way to the cloud recording based version in the web app. When you want it to stop recording, you can simply hit the microphone here and it will stop and finish its transcription. If you take a second to look at this and remember what I've just been saying, again, it's not perfect. It will require some editing, but I do think it's faster than typing, unless you've created a transcript for yourself as a script, of course, which is really what we recommend, but we know not everybody does that. So this is how it looks in the Microsoft app on your computer. It works pretty similar in the web app. Click into the dictate menu, go down to transcribe. If you have a new one, it's going to ask you if you want to replace it. Generally that, as long as you've processed the last script, you hit new transcription. All right, and then start recording. Unlike using the app on your computer, this isn't going to show you the text appearing as you go. However, once you stop this or hit save and transcribe now, it'll do that for you and you'll have the option to put it into the document, just like I'm doing right now. All right, we hit add to document. And you can choose to have the speakers broken out, say if you're working with more than one person. You can use timestamps or both. I'm just going to use the text option. Actually, I'll use the timestamp option just to show you. All right. Here it appears. You get an approximate amount of time. Now, these are all editable features that you can take out if you don't want the timestamps in there, or if they break up in a way that doesn't add meaning. And I think this does seem to work a little bit better than recording off of a video. However, it does save you time since you can leave. So that's my Tuesday teaching tip about creating transcripts. In review, the best use of this is as an option for recording video content that you already have, or creating a transcript of something that you're going to speak, say a video that you're recording just as I'm recording this video now, and then you're going to deliver it to your students, but you don't want to write a script. If you prefer going off the cuff, or you prefer using bullet points to keep yourself on track instead of a script, this can provide you with a transcript with minimal additional labor. Okay, thanks very much and have a good week.